All right, gentlemen, without further ado, happy Wednesday, WINS day. Let's get better. This is a porn recovery call. Let's get into it.
How's it going?
Do you have any feedback before we jump in? Anything specific you want reviewed?
Um, this guy's similar to last week's one. You know, the guy that was like pushing by, like minimizing, like I don't have an issue, I don't have a problem, I haven't told my wife, yada yada yada.
Mm.
This guy was similar. He came on kind of very timid, very quiet, one word answers. Hadn't dealt with somebody like this before. This was a couple of weeks ago actually. So this was before the last one. But yeah, I just couldn't really get him to open up. Like I was trying, and I was going back to the drawing board, writing down questions. I was like, think. I just couldn't. Like he just wouldn't budge. He told me that he'd done accountability through like a men's Bible study that hadn't worked. I tried to push him on it. Well, he's like, I'm going to try that again. I was like, well, why are you on this call? Something along this line. Try to push him, and he just wouldn't seem to budge. So,
Got it. Cool. Cool.
so
Let's do it.
yeah, don't nuke me for the prayer at the start. This was before.
No more praying. Kidding.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
To see wherever we can make changes either way. Okay, does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. So with that being said, an open honest space. Tell me, like, why have you booked this call in the first place? Why have you hopped on today?
Honestly, I'm just tired of like
This guy's giving me military vibes. He's not ex-military, is he?
He's not, but he's going into firefighting.
That's what it is. Anything that's like dangerous, there's just a certain temperament that some men have. And I respect it, but underneath that facade is a lot of depth, a lot of care.
the whole like lustful pornography, like everything, like the embarrassment that comes with it, and I just want to be free from it.
Okay, so what can we pick up on so far with like 50 seconds of him talking? Someone other than it's Narn, right? Or
Nairn.
Naren.
Yeah.
Naren, okay.
Yeah, weird name. I'll give you that.
Naren. Other than Naren,
That's all right. That's not bad.
who has feedback on this specific prospect?
Passive.
Okay, that's one.
I feel like he's actually trying to go deep. Like I could tell, like emotionally, like his voice is already
That's
like
where I'm at.
there really quick, which is really good. He's already open to going deep, like instantly.
Okay. What does that tell you about him? Being that it seems as though he wants to go deep, but he's very much walking on eggshells with it.
Careful.
Careful.
It's secretive, like nobody else knows except for us.
Selective.
Oh, selective.
No, secretive is good too. Yeah. He's got a ton of stuff that he's carrying that he's not letting out. Very selective, very secretive. I wouldn't say passive necessarily, unless I notice he's not doing anything about the situation, then that would make more sense. If he's not doing what he says he's going to do, then that would make sense to call him passive. But the big thing that I pick up on is this is like a man's man. And in his idea, he's like, I get my value from being strong and grounded. AKA, I got to figure all this stuff out by myself. And no one gets me. No one understands me. That destroys your relationship and your intimacy with your wife and with your kids. Anyone who grew up with like a strong, domineering father, they understand what that's like. It erodes the relationship. Right. And the kid will grow up thinking, I'm on my own. Okay. So let's keep going.
It's been way too long.
The main reason of me telling you that, Naren, is he needs to feel vulnerability from your side in order to get permission to share. He needs to feel as though you get where he's coming from and you know him better than he knows himself. That's what's going to build the bridge of trust where he opens up.
And how do you do that? Is it like just through like tonality, just how you ask the questions?
Patience. You got to be patient. And you got to sit. This is a red light. You got to sit and continue to unpack things that he's telling you. If you notice that he's resistant to tell you, call it out.
Okay.
Hey, Naren, I'm noticing that for whatever reason, you're a bit closed off to the conversation that I'm trying to have with you. What's behind that?
Hmm.
What's behind that? If having this deeper, more uncomfortable conversation with me would lead to you breaking through and getting freedom, would you be willing to have the conversation?
Hmm.
That's what we were talking about this morning, Lance, because my finisher with that is like, because what we do on a day-to-day basis, most of us men, is we just surround ourselves with people who just pat us on the back. They have no idea what's actually going on. And if that's our conversation today, you're going to leave the same way you came in. Nothing's going to change. But if you're willing to actually go deep with me and tell me what's actually going on, I could potentially help you get clean from this for the rest of your life. Is that something that you're willing to do? That's framing. Because when he agrees to it, every question that follows is seasoned with, you got to open up. You got to tell me what's going on. Stop holding back. You holding back is what has gotten us to where we're at right now.
And not being able to drop it is super annoying.
Okay. How long have you
What about it is annoying you? Super annoying? How do you mean? Why would I do that?
So he doesn't feel like you're skipping over what he just expressed to you?
Potentially, yeah. What does that force him to do?
Open up.
Yes. Why do we want them to open up, Christian?
Pain, leverage, urgency.
Yes. And if I'm open to you, what does that say? Yes.
They trust you.
And when they trust you, Lance, what happens?
Build that connection.
Build a connection, and you can reframe the limiting beliefs that they have. You can change the way they think. You can plant seeds of taking action, committing to yourself, burning the boats, doing what you say you're going to do, not quitting. You give them a new identity. If they have a new identity, then what happens? They pay. They get the help.
struggled exactly? Like, if you could think like years, how long has it been for you?
I don't know, over 10. I want to say, well, I don't know. I want to say like as soon as I had a phone, I was basically looking. I had like friends like show me.
Yeah.
Little, and like I feel like from there it's been going on. For, like
Okay.
15.
Yeah. Okay. So like, since you're 24 now, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like, since you learned that this was an issue and you wanted to quit, how long has it been since you wanted to quit and you wanted to give it up?
For a while now. I mean, it's always been a struggle, and like every time I did it, I was like, I knew I shouldn't be doing it. It's probably been 4 years where I've been like, all right, like it's probably more than that. Yeah. 4 years.
Right. So like, over the last 4 years, like, why now? Like, what's specific about now that makes you want to change
You
that?
see how conversation is very high level questions. You're not going deeper into what he's telling you. It's like filling out a survey. Do you see that?
Yeah, I can
So
see that. Yeah,
the
I'm
main
just skipping
reason-
through the questions on the script, not going deeper into each one.
Exactly. Exactly. That's how you get depth. You get them to open up. Because what you said, if you guys remember at the beginning, he said, I couldn't get him to open up. Sometimes we have to make a way for that to come out ourselves through asking more questions based on the responses that we get.
Well, I've always wanted to like cut it out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to keep doing this. This is stupid, right? Yeah. Right now, I feel like my faith is kind of way better than it was in the past. So, like, I know I can do it, but at the same time, I keep going for it. It's
Okay. Yeah. So like, that's like 4 years. And why wouldn't you just let this go like another 4 years? Like, why do you want to deal with it here now?
Can't ask that question. It's too early to ask that question. So you've heard me use the brick analogy. Narn, have you heard that before?
No.
Okay, so that question you just asked, why not just allow this to continue? That question is a powerful question with adequate leverage. If you don't have leverage, you're going to get a buzzword response. You're going to get a knee-jerk response, but they're not going to feel it. So I want you to imagine that question, I took that question and I wrote it on a brick. And I was in a hotel on the first floor. And I took the brick and I threw it out of the first floor and it landed on the car. It'll probably do a little bit of damage because it's a brick, right? Maybe it scuffs off the front hood of the car. But if I go up on the 100th floor of the same hotel and I throw that brick down, it's going to do way more damage. So that question, we can't use that question this early. You haven't earned the right to ask that question yet. Because he hasn't, to your point, has not opened up. So let's see what he says. It's going to be a fluffy answer with no urgency behind it.
Now today, why not let it go for another 5-10 years? What's different?
10 years, bro? He's 24. No 24-year-old is thinking about 10 years from now. Ask Brett.
It definitely has like a change on like your mentality and everything, like going out in public.
What does that mean, dude? Has it changed on your mentality? He didn't answer the question.
Look, I'm a person that goes to the gym daily.
So you see how you asked him an uncomfortable question and he redirects into, I go to the gym daily. Why would he do that?
Yeah, because I didn't have the leverage, so he just
Well, why would he do that? Why would he say, well, I go to the gym daily?
because it's something he's confident in. He finds purpose, worth, maybe.
Yes, ego. I'm not that bad. I'm still a productive member of society. He's rationalizing it. It's not that big of a deal. Okay. Now, if that's his belief and we say it's $3,200, what happens?
He doesn't buy.
He doesn't buy. So now we're starting to get an understanding of how this guy views this. Similar to the call that we watched yesterday with Colton. We cannot pitch a 28-year-old grown man who allows his dad to pay all his monthly expenses and expect him to join. No way. Nate, did you have a question?
Yeah, I wanted to point something out because I see this, gosh, so much. I don't know if you caught this, Tristan, but a small detail, if you notice, he didn't say I go to the gym. He says you go to the gym. Whenever I get to so much with people I work with because they're dissociated from their own experience. When somebody is speaking about their own experience in the second person, it's a sign, like a dead obvious sign that they're not psychologically taking ownership of their own life and they're not connected to their own experience. So a very powerful thing that I do with people when I notice that is I'll pause for a moment and I'll say like, well, wait, do I go to the gym or do you go to the gym? And like, what was behind you? Notice that you just said you. And so kind of getting on that and then making it a point to say in some fashion, like it depends on the context, but encouraging him to speak of his own experience using the word I will immediately shift the conversation into one where he's actually connecting to his own experience instead of trying to project it outward onto other people.
Totally. Good.
And every time like there's a female, I always like have to look. And there's been times where I'm like, I have like no interest, but yeah, it's annoying. It's kind of like no one knows, but it's embarrassing.
Okay, so the 3 words he keeps using is embarrassing. He says this is embarrassing. He says this is stupid. And he says this is annoying. Embarrassing, stupid, annoying. So what I would do is I keep hearing you say these 3 words. It's stupid, it's embarrassing, and it's annoying. Why do you use those 3 words to describe your situation? That's why it's so important to listen. We have to listen. Who am I gonna have a higher likelihood of opening up to? Somebody that I feel is listening to everything that I'm saying, or someone who isn't? It's basic psychology. If I and I'm really good at this, I think it's a gift from God. If I pick up on the fact for 1 second that you're not paying attention to what I'm saying, goodbye. It's a waste of time. We see this in church all the time. You meet someone new and you're having a conversation with them, and they're looking behind you at other girls that are walking by. I'm like, hey, are you and I having a conversation right now, or is there someone else you'd rather be? Just get out of here, dude. You're gonna go look at all the girls, go over there. Because they'll use it as like social status. I'm gonna stand in this group and talk to you, but I'm not actually listening to anything you're saying. I'm just using you so that these girls think that I'm of status. It happens all the time. Okay. That's a side tangent, but just realize like he's not going to open up to you if you're not listening to what he's saying.
Mhm.
And he shouldn't.
But in what ways do you feel it's embarrassing? Like, do you feel it's stopping you from approaching the woman? Like, would you want to approach her, but you're scared of like what you have going on internally, or like what's your like relationship status? Do you want a girlfriend? Do you not?
I do. I just don't feel I'm ready for it.
Okay.
Well, like financially and
He's not ready financially. Limitation. Right?
Mhm.
Because that is a mentality. Once I have money, then I'll do it. That doesn't just show up in relationships, bro. It shows up in every area of his life. Okay, we got to recognize the patterns.
yeah, I'm that person. I'll just date just to date.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Feel like porn plays an impact. Like, say best case scenario standing, like
reaching.
you have
I
like I
hear
don't know,
you're about to reach. You're about to try and make a correlation that does not directly correct to what he's told you. And when that happens, they go, kind of, or yeah, I guess, or maybe. If they say maybe, we're on opposite sides of the table.
It's kind of like putting words in his mouth. Is that what you mean?
You're
Top
putting
50
words in
grand,
his
you
mouth.
got nice car.
Yes, there's nothing worse in a situation when I'm talking. Like, has anybody in here done therapy? Raise your hands. Brett, Lance, anyone else? So if I was your therapist and I started putting words in your mouth that you didn't say, what are your immediate thoughts? Brett or Lance?
Trying to spin conversation to your own will rather than helping me out.
Yeah. Are you listening? Are you even listening to what I'm saying? If that persists, then what do you think?
Not coming back to this guy
100%.
for more help.
100%. 100%. I want someone who can actually help me.
Yeah.
Okay, so you start to realize the script doesn't matter as much as building a connection with the person you're talking to and actually listening to what they're telling you. If you're not listening, you're a script monkey. Listen, you're not a chat bot. You're a human, and so are they. And when we're talking about very vulnerable topics, and I sniff out that you're not paying attention, you're not listening, I'm not going to open up to you. Because think about it, like if he was the type of guy who was opening up about a situation all the time, probably would get the help that he needs. Right? So it's very rare that he even does it in the first place. And when he has a bad interaction with you, like really think about this. When he has a bad interaction with you and he's trying to get help, but he's trying to be vulnerable, and you do a terrible job on the call, not saying you did, but let's just say the point of having an argument here. When you do a terrible job, what does that do to him when the computer closes? Think about after he relapses again, what thoughts go through his mind? I'm alone. God's against me. I'm never going to get out of this situation. So
Mhm.
there's a tremendous responsibility of taking these calls and being fully present and paying attention.
Yeah.
Tremendous responsibility. Because you do this long enough, bro, you're going to start having clients reach out to you and say, dude, the call that I had with you was so powerful that I broke free. I got married. I had kids. My life will never be the same. Like you're breaking generational curses off of these men. So that's why I say, and that's why I get on you guys at times whenever I notice that you're not doing the things that I tell you to do. I know this is an older call,
Mhm.
but that's why I'm so passionate about it. I'm like,
Mhm.
if you're not going to do what I'm telling you to do, get off of this call and just go get a job.
Yeah.
Seriously. The skill set for high ticket, it's the most difficult skill set to develop in comparison to any other sales.
Long period of time.
Like this is not easy stuff whatsoever. And it takes time and it takes consistency, and it's so tied into who you are as a guy, as a man, as a leader. When you don't do what you say you're going to do and you're not committed to yourself, you're not living life outside of your comfort zone and you're comfortable, what kind of results are you going to get on your calls?
Mhm.
Because you'll even think it in your own brain. You're reading the script and you're saying certain things and you're like, dude, I'm not even doing any of the stuff that I'm telling this person. It ain't gonna work, bro. It's like having a fat personal trainer. It ain't gonna work. Let's keep going.
Car, you got a mortgage and house you're paying off, and you're still single. Okay, you got a good job. Like, let's paint the best case scenario. Would you have the confidence, knowing that you still struggle with loss, to approach a woman that you think is attractive?
I probably would, but she wouldn't know about it. Like, I'd definitely be hiding it. Kind of think of it like now. I do approach girls, but it's always like only get to know, and then we go through from there.
Why do you think that is? Do you feel like you lost an impact, or does that just feel like you're not interested? Or
I just, every time I get to that point where I'm like, I don't feel like I'm ready for it.
why is that specifically for you?
Well, like I was saying, financially, I want to be like work my career job. But I never really thought about like less when I was going into it. Like whenever I like started getting serious with people, I usually get pretty well. Like not completely cut them off or like cut off less, but like I get way better.
But do you feel like if you had a girlfriend right now that you wouldn't struggle with porn, or how do you see it?
I've never had one, but I feel like I probably still would, just going based off of like other people's stories. But also I don't know, I can't put myself in that situation.
Okay. So we would put yourself in that situation just for like saying sake. Okay. Like you imagine yourself in that situation. You get a nice girl, you start talking to her, you date her for I don't know 3 to 6 months, and then you think, okay, I can maybe marry this woman, or we want to move in together, or maybe if you end up marrying her, proposing, maybe do you see your marriage being successful if you still struggle with loss, or is this something you're like, I have to beat it now, or else it might stay with me?
I think I have to beat it now before I do that.
Why is that? Like, you don't feel marriage will be successful, you don't want to get involved before you quit, or what is it for you?
Honestly, I would consider that like a way, or like a kind of like cheating, or not having your eyes only for your wife, or so just want to be right.
Is that like a big motivation for you, like a motivating factor, like you want to quit because like one day you don't want to have a wife and you do not want to struggle with this in your marriage? Is that what you're kind of saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What other like motivate? What else motivates you to quit porn? Like what else? Like, I know you mentioned like faith. Like, is there anything else you like? You have that as a goal? Like porn is almost holding you back from?
I don't think it has anything like holding me back, but also like I'm planning on going into firefighting, and if ever gets brought around, or
So he's not even a firefighter right now, bro. He's going into it. Okay, let's look at fire. 60K or so. Got it.
also like seeing things where like, well, it puts like brain fog on you, and like the effects that has on your body. Yeah.
Do you feel like so you pass it in for five? You became a firefighter in a year's time. Let's just say I don't know what it looks like training and all that, but like let's just say in a year's time, they're like
You're just future pacing the wrong stuff. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Like think, okay, so I'll give you an example of this. Sometimes I like to keep it really practical just for the sense of like you really understanding it. So as an example, I went to a Thursday night men's group. They call it fire pit night. So the whole point is going in a backyard and being just straight up vulnerable and authentic for a full 2 hours and like letting it all out. And so we had this one guy who he starts talking about how the biggest burden that he's currently carrying is the fact that he struggles with paying attention and focusing with brain fog. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, dude. You got brain fog? Like a dude just talked about how he cheated on his wife, struggling with pornography, and you got brain fog. I'm like, if this is the attitude that we're gonna have, like I'm driving like an hour to even be sitting here right now. And this stuff, it'll sound cocky or arrogant, but it's just what leaders do. I'm 26. You're 40. You have brain fog? What else? Like that aside, what else is going on? Because you and I both know the biggest burden you're carrying right now is not the fact that you can't pay attention. So if we need to go line by line, like tell me about your relationship with your kids, tell me about your relationship with your wife, tell me about the intimacy with your wife, tell me about the intimacy with God. Like I'll go there. But when you pierce on things in an interaction that don't actually carry any weight whatsoever, what kind of results are you going to get in the call?
No result.
No result. And if he remains the same guy that he was before the call started, what kind of results we're going to get?
Nothing.
Yeah. Nothing. So we need to pierce on things that actually matter, such as the fact that this guy is embarrassed. He's embarrassed. He's angry about a situation. He's not in a relationship, but I know he wants to be in one. He's not financially stable, right? Those things are way more important than him being brain foggy at his firefighting job. Okay, so I want to lift up the hood. I want to go deeper with this guy, which is something he probably doesn't do very consistently. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in a conversation? I think I've shared this in a coaching call before. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone where it was so good that you lost track of time?
Yeah, all the time.
And you think like, dude, how did 2 hours go by that fast? Your sales calls can be that conversation for these people. You get to a level of depth and discomfort with them where they feel like they're making leaps and strides towards the person that they actually want to become. It's refreshing. It's energizing. At no point will they ever say, hey, Narn, top of the hour, bro, gotta go. You hear that? You did a terrible job. That's just what it is. If people rush you off the call and they're like, hey, dude, got somewhere else to be. Hey, it's getting to the top of the hour. Can we just wrap this up? You failed on the call. You're not a failure. The call was bad. Got to do better. No one should ever say that. If they say that, there's a tremendous lack of depth in the conversation you're having with them. They don't feel like it's going anywhere. They don't feel like it was a good use of time.
You tell them. Cool, Samuel, you're ready to go and be on the front lines. Okay. Do you feel, again, if you still struggle with porn and what goes on now, do you feel you could be at your best, like mentally sharpest, and also be dialed in to be like, okay, I could lose my own life here, these people could lose their life here. Like if I'm not switched on, how do you see it? Like if you're still struggling with porn, you maybe still have that like hazy brain fog you mentioned, how do you see it pan out? Do you think you have a successful career or what do you think?
What's struggling with porn, I don't think it would help. I think it would eventually lead to just sleeping around with people. Yeah.
Is sleeping around with people something you're willing to? Is that something you're willing to settle for?
Sleeping around with people. How do you mean? How do you mean sleeping around with people? What do you mean by that? Why would I be skeptical and curious? What is the byproduct?
So it doesn't seem like you're judging him?
No. Joel?
I was just gonna say that's a really big like leap from watching porn. So I'd be genuinely curious as to why you feel like it would take you that far. Because I haven't been here for the whole call, but clearly there's something about this guy's problem that is so massive in his mind because it is. But it's so massive in his mind that he sees it becoming completely destructive in his life. And I want to know why.
Really good perspective.
I was gonna say too, on top of that, Joel, I think a good question to ask there would be like, is that already happening now? Or like what makes you
what makes you say that?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
Yeah.
Because bro, what does that tell you? Him being aware that that's even a possibility. What does that tell you? He's thought about it.
Yeah.
He's already slipping, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, no one who's in a happy marriage talks about how they could potentially sleep with someone at their work. Do you understand?
Mhm.
That doesn't just happen. Okay. But he's saying some things that are incongruent. He's saying his faith life has never been better. And then he's talking about sleeping around. He's talking about how it's embarrassing.
Did you just call him out on that?
Well, how would you handle that?
Don't know.
I don't think calling him out is going to help.
Yeah.
I think being genuinely curious is going to force him to open up. Christian Butler.
I think there's might be
What he means by blanket statements, it just prevents you from assuming what he's what he
at least in my mind.
Yeah.
actually understand like what he's actually saying because yeah, it just prevents you from assuming. And I know it's an older call.
I just wonder. I'm always mindful of like.
Fit him
I
in.
know that.
Dude, your mic is so low.
Yeah, Christian, we can't hear you.
Barely hear what you're saying.
Can you hear me now?
Better, yeah.
Okay. I was saying that if you did you get the first part?
In some ways.
Yes, I did, for the most part.
Yeah, understanding what he's
Everybody's kind
actually
of doing
saying,
that. You
it prevents you from assuming.
there's solidarity, which is like beautiful, but
I feel like I know it's an older call, but I feel as though you're kind of putting him in a
understood in that way, but
Citrus
is that
himself,
enabled?
putting words in his mouth and trying to combine them to a narrative.
That's taken
And
Mm.
what Tristan was telling me before, because I've done it before, is it's because you're uncomfortable with like the unknown of what he could say, and you're not confident in your ability to navigate the conversation.
Cement this into your brain. Assuming thing makes an ass out of you and me.
Yeah. Yeah, you told me that last week, so
Yeah. Assuming is the worst thing that we could possibly do.
yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or would you rather
So
like
this is
remain a
exactly
virgin
why
until you
you
get
struggle
married?
to open them up.
Mhm.
This is exactly why.
Yeah. I felt like a fool on the call. Obviously, I felt like an absolute idiot. Just wouldn't go anywhere.
Great.
But yeah.
Great. That's how you learn.
Yeah.
So we realize this, guys. Any objection that we get, if you look back on the call, it was laid brick by brick on our side.
Mhm.
And it has to be that way because if we don't take responsibility for it, then what happens?
Doesn't buy.
He doesn't buy. We don't make the progress that we want to make. We don't make the income that we want to make. We don't get the opportunities that we want to get. We don't live the life that we want to live. How can I expect this guy to take responsibility for his own life if I'm not willing to take responsibility?
True.
Incongruent. Won't happen.
What's
I-
your deal?
I'd rather stay a virgin until I'm married.
Okay. So do you feel like the lure, like the lust of porn, do you think that would lead you into more and more sexual sin as you got older if you didn't deal with it now?
I think so. I think it would. Kind of like drug, right? People do like smoke weed or whatever, and then they find that's not enough, and they kind of move on to the next thing, and more, and so on.
Okay, yeah. So like, in what ways then do you feel like porn is impacting your daily life, like day to day? Like think about like energy, like we talked about brain fog, mood swings, like productivity at work, productivity at home. Like in what ways do you feel porn is impacting you?
You as a leader, Narn, ask him a specific question. Lazy people give like 5 or 6 different questions that they could answer, and they just pick one. So you, as the expert in this situation, you ask a specific pointed question to get him to open up about something significant. Your job.
Okay.
Not his job.
Yep.
He'll never just say, hey, dude, if you want to close me, like, here are the 9 things that we should talk about. I wish it was that easy. But it's our job. We're the advisor for them.
Steven, you.
I think it like definitely drains your energy and like gives you more brain fog, and you just feel more distracted through the day. I feel like because I had the period where I stopped watching or like masturbating and everything for 2 months, and that kind of like that period I felt like I want to say like relieved and like more energized.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And anything else like any changes you were like, man, that felt good, you know?
I honestly just personally felt maybe more confident, honestly. Knowing that wasn't there like dragging me or like I don't know. I was like during that period I was like super excited about it, and like I was able to kind of help my friends through it. Like kind of give them motivation and like check in on them. But that kind of like fell off as soon as I like fell back into it, and I haven't like told them just because I don't want them to be like okay with doing it themselves or something. I don't know. I haven't really talked to them about it.
Okay. It seems like you're holding back a little bit. Like, my question to you would be
Good.
like,
Good. So don't say it seems like you're holding back, because then you can be like, no, I'm not. What would a leader say in this situation?
I can feel you're holding back.
You are holding back. You're holding back. What's behind that? What's behind that? Spencer, do you have something to say?
No, I was just answering the question you asked.
Got it.
like, do you feel like because you're trying to help other guys and it looks as though you got yourself clean and now it seems like you may be falling back? Is that like, do you feel shame around that? Do you feel a little awkward speaking to these guys and not something you want to talk about anymore? What is it for you?
Definitely shame. So all these guys are like newer Christians and they look up to me. So I don't want to put off that it's like okay to do. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, like, and if you can't.
As a leader, isolation is very common. So for this guy, what he's telling you is, now that I've stepped into leadership, I can't tell any of these guys that I'm struggling with porn, because then they're going to think it's okay. And when they feel tempted in their brain, they're going to say, well, this guy does it, so it's not that bad. I can do it too. So what does that do to him?
Makes him feel like a fraud.
Fraud and?
He's not qualified to lead.
Yes,
Doubt.
and?
Even more shame.
Trapped. He's trapped. What's he going to do? Can't tell anybody. So I would ask him, do you feel trapped? What does that do to you on like a daily basis?
Could you ask that? Could you ask that question if it's like, say it's like wife as well, like guy hasn't told his wife, like guy hasn't told his wife, do you feel trapped? Is that, or is that a different scenario?
Yeah. Yeah. So you haven't told your wife yet. What's behind that? What's kept you from telling her? Usually they'll say things like, the easy response is like she would feel betrayed. That's the easy response. She'd think, am I not good enough for you? Those are the easy responses. But in his mind, he's probably thinking, in addition to all of that, as a man, this is my responsibility to figure this out.
Mhm.
She's not going to understand me. She's not going to understand what I'm doing. Okay, so what he does is he zips his mouth until he gets caught. And then what?
Mhm.
Right? That's why when they're not opening up to you, bro, I'm like, bro, if you can't open up to a guy on the internet that you've never met, that you never will meet, who are you going to tell? Who are you going to tell?
Would you say that? Can you use that as a line?
Bro, you can say anything you want to say. Stop putting
Yeah.
a limitation on what you can or can't say.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Donald Trump doesn't look at his executive assistant and say, can I say this?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I don't really care what your position is in politics. It's like leaders just don't do that. That's why they're called leaders.
Mm.
Leaders make decisions. Followers look around for other leaders to make decisions for them. Period.
Mm.
Nate?
Yeah, really quick, just wanted to add, like, everything about this just stands out so characteristic to me of porn addiction, of course. I talked about this last time in the last call we reviewed, but the double life is a characteristic of addiction. And that intersection where the man that he is behind closed doors, the reality of that, and then the man that he is trying to present himself as in public, where those two things meet, is such excruciating pain that he's numbing himself out from it. And part of, I said this last week too, that it's a gold mine if you can start to tap into that. But part of the challenge with somebody who's an addict, right, is that this is somebody who is numbing himself constantly. And so he is not even able to connect with his own pain, but that's a consequence of the behavior that he's engaged in. And so the questions that you can ask to dig into that sort of invite him to consider and connect with that incongruency. If you do that with the right sort of like angle and, compassion that allows him to kind of open up, like people will start crying on your calls. Like the amount of pain of being in a position of leadership where younger guys or other guys are looking up to you and they're projecting an image of hope onto you, and you know that what you're doing behind closed doors is so much different from how other people perceive you. You tap into that, this guy's going to cry. That pain is excruciating. It's just he's so disconnected from it that he can't feel it. So I just wanted to point that out, that whenever you hear that, especially on these calls where it's like, oh, this man is, the truth of who he is behind closed doors is so out of alignment with who he wants to be or with how other people are perceiving him. It's like, hold his feet to the fire.
Yeah.
That is going to crack him open like an egg.
It's good, bro.
And fully lead yourself, Samuel. Like, how can you lead these guys? Like, is there something? And you almost like questions like, if I can't lead these guys, I'm gonna lead myself. And if I can't lead them, then I'm not doing the service. All these guys. Is that any deal? Or
Here's another point of feedback. You know what I'm about to say?
Don't assume.
Yeah, that's a good one. Who else?
You know,
As a fellow fast talker, you're talking kind of fast and you're making the urgency more than it needs to be.
Yeah. What about the talking though?
I was gonna say like almost over explaining for him, or like talking
Yes.
too much.
Yes, you're talking too much.
yeah.
You're lecturing him. So like if you watch Itai's calls, 2-3 sentences max he would ever say. It's always pointed questions that keep the conversation moving forward towards the end goal of this person buying. He doesn't go on long-winded explanations. He just asks pointed questions consistently. He knows exactly where he's headed, and the second he doesn't get what he needs out of the conversation, he stops. Question, 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 question. If you can get really good at asking the right questions and not over-explaining not over communicating, you'll be in a really good spot.
Yeah, that'd be a better example of that.
Okay. And what happens if one of these guys comes to you and you're like, hey Samuel, I need help. Like, what happens then?
I like the angle of that. Okay, in that specific situation, stretch it out. Stretch it out. Do you know what I
What do
mean
you
by
mean?
stretch it out? Okay.
No.
I want you to imagine that one of your kids, I don't know how old these kids are, get some context, dude. Imagine one of your kids who's just at puberty or whatever. I don't know. Was he in young adults ministry or these people his age?
He said they were younger than him and he was 24, so I don't know.
Imagine,
About 21.
imagine one of your kids comes to you and he says, dude, I've got crippling anxiety, crippling social anxiety. I don't know how to talk to people. When girls come up to me, my pits fill up with sweat. I don't know how to communicate with other people. I don't have any friends. I'm struggling with porn. I watch it all the time. What do I do? What would you tell him? Would you lie? Or what would you say? Draw it out. Like he can't feel the weight of the question you're asking him if you don't make him feel it. That's why getting leveraging things they've already told us to build our follow-up questions is so important. That's why I'm hitting on embarrassed. You're embarrassed. It's annoying. This is stupid. All things he said. With 5 minutes left. Was that helpful?
Very helpful, yeah. I appreciate it.
Who else has takeaways from the call?
Well, the key takeaway that I've taken in the past few days from these calls is just really picking up on keywords and then probing on those keywords, like when he's saying embarrassed and stuff, or when they say the if or maybe, just on those little keywords, probing on those keywords to allow them to give you the answers that you need to where you can leverage it.
100%. Listening and paying attention and taking the things that they're telling us and using it as leverage to ask follow-up questions.
I would say on top of that, Lance, one thing I've been stressing to myself recently is that you need to sweat the small stuff on these calls because like nothing is ever an accident that they say. It was all, especially when we're kind of in, if you do ask the right questions and you're in a vulnerable conversation, then you're going to get that kind of fight or flight response in terms of how they actually feel on things. And so when they do say kind of what you said with the keywords, or they say something that's like, oh, that's just a throwaway. Oh, that's not a big deal. It is a big deal. So address it and unpack it and sit there.
Yeah, that's why I say like the close is going to be built brick by brick, but so are all the objections that they give us. It's because of the conversations that either are or are not happening. And no one else is going to have the conversation with them. Sadly.
Yep.
And also something I think that would just be beneficial, kind of what I brought up in our team call this morning, was just because something that I was struggling with, obviously just trying to hit the numbers, making sure that, closing deals and, obviously making money that we want to make, but just setting all that stuff aside and then really just stepping into these conversations with the act of love, right? Like we're truly, genuinely, wholeheartedly wanting to help these people out instead of just thinking about, following the framework or everything. So that's where these questions come in, to where we're actually genuinely curious as to what's going on and wanting to help them out. So just having that heart posture of you truly just loving the other person on the other side of the screen and helping them out instead of thinking about, I need to close this person.
Yeah. Yeah, that goes through my head too much. Yeah, I appreciate that, Lance. Good advice.
Yeah.
Like Tristan said as well, I'm just sitting there reading off the script and being like, let's go to the next question. Let me ask the next question, next question, next
Exactly.
question. I'm taking notes, thinking, okay, I can come back to that next question. And before I know it, I've missed everything the guy said that was valuable. So, yeah, thank you for the virtual slap in the face, everyone. Much appreciated.
Doesn't matter.
I was just gonna add to what Lance said. I say it all the time, but how do you pronounce your name if you don't mind me asking?
It's Nairn.
Nairn. Okay.
Tristan still not got it right, so you got it perfect. So yeah, it's a 1-up.
Good to meet you, man. I've seen you on here a few times. But
yeah, appreciate it.
what I was gonna say, just to add to Lance's point, is the way I treat all these calls is imagine if your best guy friend came to you and was like, dude, I am struggling with porn. I'm fully addicted. And they're telling you all these things that that guy on your call was telling you. Like, dude, if I don't fix this in 3 months, I might start sleeping around with women. Like, treat the conversations you have with these people as if like one of your close friends was coming to you with the same problem that they are. You know, you wouldn't be telling them, be like, so what's that going to look like in 6 months from now? Like, they're good questions. The framework matters, but what it comes down to is just having genuine conversations with these people and helping them get out of their own way.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Joe. Thanks.
1000%.
Nate, the last.
Yeah, really quick. I just wanted to add to, and this goes for a lot of offers, of course, but with porn recovery, you're going to see this all the time, is the people will always get on the call. They'll be intellectualizing their pain and minimizing it at the same time. But the reality of their life will always be so incongruent compared to how they're describing their situation. I thought was great about this call was like hitting on those like kind of small words. Like when you, as we kind of dug into it, right, this guy is like probably trapped in a position of leadership, doesn't like himself. He has so much pain in reality, but the word he used to describe it was like, oh, it's annoying. So one thing that can be really useful is when you kind of like investigate and draw out what the reality is without feeding him the answers of like, do you feel shame? It's like, well, what is that experience like when, like Tristan said, a guy comes to you looking for help? Then the shame is going to come to the surface, and then you'd be like, well, help me understand. Like earlier you said that this problem was annoying, but like this seems pretty severe. And that collision of meeting like the minimization with reality is where a lot of breakthroughs with people struggling with addiction will happen. That's where you pierce through denial and this person will become ready to change.
Yeah, that's good, Nate. Thank you.
All right, everybody. It's Wednesday, WINS Day. Let's make some impact, help some people. Good luck.